But we're all gathered here today because we've lost someone. These 144 souls that won't make it that didn't make it yesterday and won't make it tomorrow, they've lived that 1/3 that don't make it, which gives us an opportunity to have 2/3. I would much rather have someone stuck in and out than not here to face the battle. Each one of these people represents a gift given. If anyone in this group is still struggling, they've given you a gift. Don't squander it. Looking at the magnitude of what this is, and I don't like saying lost. We shouldn't say lost, you guys. We know where they are. They're not lost. We know exactly where they are. We didn't lose them. We know where they are. It hurts because we don't get to be with them. We don't get to talk with them. We don't get to see what they could have become. But we have to turn this mess into a very powerful message, one that needs to be a little louder. Earlier this year, well, last year actually, in October, almost coming on a year, we lost a pretty significant athlete of mine. His name was Brandon Black. Brandon was one of my original athletes when we first started, and he was an amazing athlete. And when I found out that he had succumbed to the addiction, and the last place I saw him was at the Utah State Prison when I was running with the Conquest group. That athlete has a chapter in the Conquest program at the prison. And I saw Brandon, and I said, when you get out, I need you to come talk to me. Coach, I'll do it, I'll be there, no problem. He never showed up, he never came back. And the next time I saw him was when we were at his viewing. And it was hard, because Athlete Black had a huge heart. It was big. And one of his first races, just downtown here for Recovery Days, Mary Jo puts that race on. It's a fantastic event. If you're up here, please support USARA and attend Recovery Days. But Athlete Black was coming down, and he was going to win this race. I watched him. He was coming down the straightaway, and I'm like, for the first time ever, I have one of my athletes going to win a race. How fantastic! And as he's coming up and as he's approaching, he kind of stops. And I think, oh, his shoe's untied. Is something wrong? And I'm yelling for him, but everyone's cheering and everyone's loud. No, he can't hear me. And he just kind of sits there, and another athlete runs past him. And I'm like, what are you doing? Get up, man, get up. And another one passes him, and another one. And finally, after the fourth person passes him, he kind of gets up and hobbles in, and he finishes fourth. And I went over and I said, Brandon, what was that? And he said, you saw me? I'm like, we all saw you. And I said, why did you stop? And he said, I didn't want to win because no one would believe me. They would have thought I cheated. I said, did you cheat? He said, no, I don't think so. I said, if you ever do that again, I'm going to run up there and drag you by the ear end. See, Brandon didn't have enough self-confidence to finish first. He thought no one's going to believe an addict like me. And he forfeited that victory because he was afraid of what others would think. That's a hard lesson to learn. When you're standing at the end of this line and you're looking down, it's almost like it goes on to the horizon. It looks like these shoes just keep on going. But right here in the middle is kind of this gap, because right here I can see both sides. But in recovery and in healing from addiction, we're always looking for the horizon. We're always marching for it. There's always a tomorrow. The sun's always going to rise. But the thing about that is every time we get to that horizon, you guys notice something about it? It changes. We're never going to get there. It keeps changing. But the beautiful thing is, and I highly recommend when this is done, you take a walk down and you see the magnitude of what this is. And in the middle, turn around and look how far you've come. Because it's a lot like recovery.
Yeah.
As we're always heading for that horizon and it keeps changing, we can always turn around and see how far we've come. The people that we've made, the relationships that we've built. You know, there is nothing at the horizon that's worth forfeiting that viewpoint, that vantage point. So then what do we do with this, everyone? What do we do with this, right? Well, this is a giant. This is a huge task before us all. And each one of you that come here today is going to leave here with a different kind of understanding and hopefully a little bit of inspiration to do something more, to do something bigger. And I learned this principle from a mentor of mine, and he talks about this being a giant. This is a huge problem in our lives. opiate addiction, drug addiction, addictions in general, it's a huge giant. But compared to what? Because we've all had a loved one that took a knee and didn't make it. And we love them and it hurts. Oh, it hurts so bad. I'm listening to that song and I'm letting the balloons go and I'm looking at these shoes and I know the people behind me are feeling it. And my heart aches for you. I've dedicated my life so that your families don't have to suffer. But I'm ready to take on this giant. But I need your help. Next year, August 31st, 2018, we need to not be able to see the stairs. We need to get our voices out there. We need to start demanding that the government, that our city politicians, everyone, they start doing something more because this is unacceptable. Pharmaceutical companies, they're murdering us. And we're just sitting back letting it happen because we're too afraid to raise our voice because you had a son or you had a daughter that was an addict. How dare them? How dare them? You had a son or daughter that hurt. And the way to fill that void and that pain was take a pill. And then when that didn't work, go use a needle. And when that didn't work, this is the result. How dare them? We've got to start speaking together in unison and being loud about this. Because they don't care, but we do. The troops aren't coming to rescue us. We are the troops. We have to do what it takes to conquer this giant, and we will get around it. And when we get around it on the other side, we're going to be a force to be reckoned with, everyone. See, a team addict to athlete, we don't talk about ourselves being in recovery. We don't talk about ourselves being addicts. We talk about ourselves being champions. A champion is winning the battle, is winning the fight. We're going to do this. But it's going to take us all. If you leave this today and you just have a little spark of inspiration, thanks for coming today. But if you truly want to change your world, this problem, I need you to start using your voice. I need you to start talking to everyone because there's not one person out here in this valley, not one person doesn't have a family member that struggles with addiction. Everyone does. Take it from me, a guy who's been in the field for a while and in a few different areas. Everyone out there in this valley has one person in their family that struggles. It is not an epidemic that we can be anonymous about. It's time to start using our voices. These 144 people deserve better. We're still here. We get to make those changes. And amen to those that decide that they don't want to help or that they're too busy or we don't need them anyway. See, we had a big push for naltrexone and to help people in struggling with addictions, and we started pushing this. Mary Jo and Lana, you here? You did amazing things getting naltrexone into the hands of first responders and into homes. And now they're seeing the magnitude of the issue. And can you believe that some of them are wanting to pull their support? They keep doing it to the same people and they're saying, they want to die. No, they don't. How about instead of doing it because you're angry or out of frustration, instead, how about you come the next day and say, hey, can you imagine if an officer of the law rolled up to the house a day or two after and said, are you okay? I want to take you to a meeting today. I want to help you. Can you imagine? No one's that busy. I'm sorry. I'm a pretty busy guy. Family man, got 4 kids of my own, work as a therapist, I'm a bishop, and do addict to athlete. I'm pretty busy. But if someone needs my help, I'll be there. All of you will, I can tell. You wouldn't be here if that wasn't the case. So how about we start looking at time being more of a precious gift? Because these guys wanted more time. And we start demanding different changes. We start looking at things outside the box. We start looking at judges and politicians to come out and be amongst us. Let's challenge them. Let's get this dialogue going. As we battle this giant and as we start putting the feet back into these shoes, can you imagine the stories that each one of these could tell? Can you imagine the healing process, the magnitude of what it is to move from a victim of addiction into what we like to call agents of sobriety, to stop blaming and start being accountable, to not look at consuming time, energy, love, money, resource, but start producing those things, Can you imagine what that would look like? Knowing that no one's going to rescue us. We have to do what it takes. Because when all the boats are burned in our harbors and we are the only ones that can face this battle, I want you on my side. Every one of you. Again, my heart aches for you that came here tonight, knowing that there's a bed in your home that's empty. I can't imagine what that first night must have felt like when that loved one wasn't there. I can't imagine how it felt when the cards stopped coming, when the neighbors stopped bringing over the casseroles, and they wanted you to just get back on with life. I can't imagine what that felt like. I hope and pray that it ever happened to me. I've lost too many friends and too many athletes, but I can't even begin to understand what you went through. But that mess, I want to help you turn it into a message. And I'm with you. I am with you. My team, Addict to Athlete, we're with you. And we want to be heard because we're now their voices. And they deserve nothing but the best. Thank you so much for coming out here tonight, for fussing with the traffic to come up and look at this beautiful sunset that we get to see. You don't stand up and take a look over there, you're a fool. I'd stand up and look at it because that right there tells you your loved ones are here. They're showing you something beautiful. Thank you so much for allowing me to come out and to advocate what I hold to be true. And my heart aches. But I want you all to know that you have a team behind you. That you have relationships at your fingertips, so long as you'll ask for our help. Thank you so much for all your time.
You can see why I want to be like him. Thank you so much, Blue. What I would like to do is, my Addict to Athlete family has been so good to me, and I'm a muggle. That's what they call me. I'm not addicted to anything, but I got involved when a friend needed to find, well, she found the group and wasn't, you know, she'd lost a little hope through her addiction, and she needed a little push to go to these meetings, and so I go with her. I worry sometimes if I don't go, she won't go, but now you know what? She doesn't go and I still go. So I found a family and they are just amazing. So what I would like to do, you've brought the shoes, and as you walk, you know, when the event wraps up, you can walk by and you'll notice that some of the shoes have a name tied to them. And Addict to Athlete, I believe last year, did something where they chose a person who hadn't, you know, had lost their battle and taken a knee, and they ran proxy for that person. So there are some name tags of people, and that's what that's about. So I would like my Addict to Athlete family to come down. Lana has got a candle. We have to have battery powered ones, so you have to, they don't allow real ones at the Capitol. So clip on the bottom, and if you'll set it in front of a pair of shoes,